interesting week, Orange fans. The one that we should have beaten almost bit us, and the one that was a tall order we handled pretty good, with a few hiccups. Remember, Orange fans, last week how I said one of our games was going to be one that we should win? The other game was going to be a tall order? Well, it turned into different stories, well, didn't it? Heck, the first game was against our good old friends from New Jersey. New Jersey's main university, although it isn't called the University of New Jersey. It's Rutgers University. And you know, in that day, the day of what I call the Big East Giant Killers, and you'll understand what I mean, we almost could have Piscataway against Rutgers. As you know what happens, we nearly did Piscataway. Like what happened with St. John's against Pittsburgh. St. John's stunning Pittsburgh with that last second basket. And the Blue Demons of DePaul nearly upending Villanova. But that's it for other games. Let's look at this one. Boy, it was a close call right from the start. Rutgers hung tough right with the Orange, leading by 1 at the half, nearly pulling it out there in regulation. Of course, you can say they committed a lot of fouls. Heck, they sent to the Orange to the free throw line 43 times. But thankfully, the Orange decided to not do an 80s redux at the free throw line. We sunk 31 of our 43 free throws, especially from Mr. Joseph and others. And also Mr. Jardine with a subpar performance, even though he was pretty good at times. But it seems as though we've settled on our starting 5 and also our couple of reserves as we head into the stretch run. And it really helped against Rutgers, barely surviving the Scarlet Knights in overtime, 84-80. And let's just take a look at who we got in our rotation. We definitely got the 3 J's, Jackson, Jardine, and Joseph, who've been the core of the team ever since the season started. And also Mr. Trish, and also Mr. Kada, who seems to have taken over the starting duties from Mello, because Boeheim finally admitted, as I have known all season, Mello wasn't quite ready. A good off-season of conditioning will definitely help, even though Mello did get in a few token minutes against Rutgers and against Villanova. But you know, the 2 other freshmen, Mr. Waiters and Mr. Bear, are heavily in this rotation. It seems as though the only other one who's getting playing time is Sutherland, albeit not much. But that seems to be what the core of this team heading into the stretch is. And let's take a look at the other game. The game that was supposed to be a tall order. Going down to Philadelphia. Down to a place where teams have had an awful tough time. Our old rivals, the return match against the Villanova Wildcats. And you know, the way it started, it looked like it was going to be a long night for the Orange. Villanova scoring the first 6 points. But then, as you can see in some return matches, strange things happen. And I mean strange. That Villanova team that was so hot, hitting from behind the arc when they played up in the Dome a month ago, suddenly got colder, Doc. You're getting warmer, but then you start throwing up those 3-pointers at your home court. Now you're getting colder, Doc. Whoa, when do I get the wow bit? All right, enough Looney Tunes. But a strange thing happened near the end of the first half, shall we? What happened with the Orange? Those few seconds there right at the end of the half. It seemed as though they had a brain fart. Oh, somebody decided to hear a comment. Oh well, we'll save that for another day. But what happened? It was like the Orange decided to become a contestant on the Joker's Wild. What'd they have? 2 personal fouls, 2 lane violations, and a technical. And what do we have for a prize? Well, they lose a good lead down to 2 points. Hey, Orange, when it gets toward halftime, don't put your brains on half-mast like on one of those schooners from the 17 or 1800s. Boy, what happened? But then we decided to put it together there right near the end of the first half. Or I should say, put it together right near the end of the game. Boy, phone's ringing really does something to my brain, does it? We put it together there in the second half. And boy, did we. And when it came time to really put away Villanova, it counted there in the final seconds. Especially that long pass to Trish, who got absolutely mugged right there. And they only called it an intentional foul. Why couldn't they call it a flagrant foul or a technical? Hell, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, officials. Of course, you officials sucked all night. And I'm not going to say what you were sucking on. But when time counted, it counted for the Orange. A big 69-64 defeat of our rivals from Philadelphia. And in the week ahead, our other big return game is coming up as the Orange prepare to end this regular season, make their run through the Big East tournament and into the NCAA tournament. Georgetown is our big game coming up this Saturday down in Washington, D.C. And I'm just wondering if this pattern's going to continue. Heck, Seton Hall did beat us on our home court, and we beat Seton Hall on their home court. Same thing happens with Villanova. You gotta wonder if it's going to happen with the Hoyas. The Hoyas beat us on our home court. Can we beat the Hoyas on their home court? Let's hope that pattern holds true. And looking at Mr. Joe Lunardi's bracketology, as I'm starting to do as the NCAA tournament draws closer, the Orange right now are pegged in as a number 5 seed in the Southeast bracket. Our potential first-round opponents are the Belmont Bruins out of the Atlantic Sun Conference. Well, let's look. If we beat Georgetown, beat DePaul to end the regular season, make a great run through the Big East tournament, you know, we might be ruining the prediction, you know. We might send it to Bruin, Mr. Lunardi. Let's see you eat your words. Well, let's see what happens. And also, kudos to the Orange Lacrosse team, opening up their season with a big victory against Denver, 13-7. And we got the team that beat SU in the lacrosse tournament last year coming to the Dome. Army. Sweet revenge, anyone? Well, let's see, guys. I'm Ken Haas. That's my story. And a hell of a week as the Orange start their run into the tournaments.